In a small town surrounded by silent hills and open skies lived a boy named Aryan. He wasn't the fastest runner, he wasn't the smartest in class, he wasn't the funniest or the strongest, but he was kind and quiet and thoughtful. The kind of boy who noticed when the leaves changed color, who stayed back after class to help someone pick up their books, who dreamed big, but said little. Aryan always believed that if he worked hard, his moment would come. But that belief slowly began to fade, not because of failure, but because of something more dangerous: comparison. It started when Aryan joined a new school in the city. Everything felt faster, louder, and brighter. The students spoke fluently, shared their achievements online, and seemed to have perfect lives. His classmates talked about competitions they had won, foreign trips they had taken, and careers they were already planning. Aryan began to shrink within himself. He would scroll through social media and see his friend Rayhan giving a TEDx talk, or Mira playing the violin on stage with a crowd cheering her name. Another boy, Samir, posted pictures from his coding hackathon win with a trophy in hand and a caption that said, "Hard work pays off." Aryan stared at those photos late at night and asked himself a silent question: what am I doing with my life? One day during an English class, the teacher asked them to write a short essay on who inspires you and why. Students read out stories about Steve Jobs, APJ Abdul Kalam, Elon Musk. When Aryan's turn came, he nervously stood up and said, "I'm inspired by my grandfather, because he's the kindest person I know." Some students laughed, a few whispered. The teacher smiled warmly, but Aryan could only hear the giggles. That night, he sat alone and thought, maybe I'll never be good enough, not like them. Comparison, like a slow poison, was killing his joy. He stopped writing in his notebook. He skipped practice. He walked with his head down. He became a shadow in a world that demanded light. One evening, as the sky turned orange and purple, Aryan's grandfather sat beside him on the rooftop. "Why so quiet?" he asked gently. Aryan hesitated, then said, "Dadu, I feel like everyone else is moving ahead. They're achieving things. They're becoming something. And I'm just stuck." The old man looked into the distance, then smiled. "Come with me," he said. They walked into the backyard where his grandfather had planted many flowers: roses, sunflowers, lilies, and a small bonsai tree. Aryan had seen them 100 times, but never really looked. The grandfather asked, "Do you know which one of these flowers is the best?" Aryan frowned. "I don't know. They're all different." "Exactly," said the grandfather. "And that's the point. The rose blooms fast, the sunflower turns to the sun, the bonsai takes years to shape. But each one has its time, its purpose, its rhythm." Aryan stared at the bonsai. It was small but beautiful, carefully shaped, patiently grown. His grandfather continued, "When you compare the sunflower to the rose, you forget what makes each one special. And when you compare yourself to others, you forget who you are." That night, Aryan opened his old notebook again. He didn't write for a prize. He didn't write for applause. He just wrote, for himself. Little thoughts, short poems, stories no one had read. He started walking to school a little earlier just to clear his mind. He stopped looking at other people's journeys like competitions, and slowly things changed, not around him, but within him. He wasn't trying to beat anyone anymore. He was trying to become the best version of himself. Months passed. Aryan wrote an essay titled "The Quiet Strength of Being Ordinary" and submitted it to a local competition, not to win, but because he wanted his words to be heard. It didn't win first prize, but it touched the heart of the chief guest, a retired author who later offered to mentor him. Later, during a school presentation, Aryan stood in front of the class and spoke. This time, not nervously, but with calm strength. He shared his journey, his struggles with comparison, and what he had learned. When he finished, there was silence. Then applause. One classmate came up to him after and said, "I feel the same way, Aryan. I thought I was the only one." He smiled, because he knew now, many feel the same, but not everyone speaks about it. You see, we are often made to believe that life is a race and everyone else is running faster. But no one tells us this. We are all running different races. Some are climbing mountains, others are walking through forests, some fly, some crawl. But every path is different, and none is wrong. When we compare, we look at someone's highlight reel and judge our behind the scenes. But life is not a competition, it's a journey, and your path is sacred. So if you're listening to this right now and feeling like you're falling behind, pause, breathe, look within. You are not behind, you're not lost, you're not less. You are on your own journey. Grow at your pace, shine in your time. And remember, the moon does not envy the sun, the stars do not race each other. They all shine when it's their moment. Your moment will come too. Just don't waste your light trying to chase someone else's. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you are not meant to be like anyone else. You are meant to be you. And that's your true superpower.